Nero fiddled while Rome burned. This phrase is commonly used to criticize someone who is doing trivial things while more important things are at hand. In the context of Rome, the phrase highlights that Nero did not care for the people of Rome. But is it really true? Well, let's find out. According to folklore, while the city of Rome burned, Nero played his fiddle in a villa far away from the city. This fire burned the city for 6 days and burned 10 districts of the city, and resulted in 3 districts being completely destroyed to the ground. But if we look at the sources from the period, it is very hard to find evidence for a fire of that magnitude. Although records from the Roman author named Pliny the Elder mentions about a fire briefly in his writings. Another problem with the story is that the fiddle or the violin did not exist in those times. Now let's move on to the most important part of the story. Did Nero actually abandon his city and people? According to historians, there are evidence to show the contrary. It is true that Nero was not in the city when it started to burn, but records show that Nero did return to the city as soon as he got the news. Nero then started work on relief work and even allowed people who had abandoned their homes to stay in his garden. He dropped the prices of corn so that people could afford them and even gave food items to the people directly. It is also important to note that most of the relief work was done with the funding provided by Nero. So then, how did the story of Nero playing fiddle while Rome burned start? Well, Roman historian named Tacitus mentions of rumors spreading through citizens. And the rumor was that Nero sang about the destruction of Troy and compared it to Rome burning. This rumor was fueled by the fact that Nero used to like concerts and did partake in musical competitions. With time, people started suspecting Nero was behind the fire. And this made things even worse for Nero. So Nero put the blame on a small group of religious people called Christians, and some of them were punished for their crimes. There we go. That's the end of the story. Hope you learned something new today. And if you think you learned something new, please leave a like on the video and subscribe for more videos.